Hello again. This week I want to bring to you something about prayer, and actually prayer as a working relationship with God. You know, in Ephesians 6:18 it says to pray with all manner of prayer. Now, if we think of prayer as simply communication with God, and that's what it is, we have a relationship with our Father and we talk with Him in much the same way as you have a relationship with a friend or even with a spouse. There are all different ways of communicating. You can transfer information, you can express ideas and opinions, you can even talk to them with lovely tones of love and affection. That's all different kinds of communication. It's the same way with prayer. There are many different kinds of prayer, and it's all about communicating with God our Father. But there comes a time in our communication with Him that our communication is actually centered around getting a job done. You know, my husband loves to cook, and most of the time he knows exactly what he's doing and he's got an idea in his head and he cooks. Occasionally he will say to me, "Hey Jen, will you help me?" Well, I don't come into that kitchen blazing with my ideas about what should be done and how it should be done. That wouldn't be profitable at all for for the preparation of whatever it is he's cooking. I come in and say, "What do you want me to do?" And he might give me a task to do or something to do to help him get that meal prepared. Much in the same way, when we come into the throne room of God, He says to us, "I need your help." And isn't it amazing that God actually desires and requires our help in getting His will from heaven into earth? We can come boldly into the throne room, and I'm so thankful we can come boldly and confidently, but we don't come arrogantly. We don't come with our own ideas about how God should do what we think He should do. We come boldly into the throne room and we watch to see what He is going to say. You know, there's an operation of prayer when we work with God, not dictating to Him and telling Him from our own understanding what we think He should do. We come to listen to what's on His heart, and we say, "Lord, what's on your heart? What's our portion of your plan that you want us to bring into the earth?" And so today I want you to listen to a portion of a message that Patsy did a while ago about God showing us what He wants us to see. And He will show us very clearly what we're to see, and He'll show us what we are to say. That is really exciting communication. That's relationship with God that goes beyond only having our own needs met, but it takes us into the workroom, into the operations room, where the tactics and the plan of heaven is communicated to us and through us into the earth.
What happens? The Holy Spirit, this is His office. This isn't yours. You don't come up here and call shots. This isn't that kind of prayer. This isn't you seeing something that needs to be straightened and you saying, you know, I do this, I say this and no. Not that kind of prayer. I pray those, I take authority. I do. What happens is you just relinquish, and He gives you things to say, but then He also can give you things to hear. Sometimes you hear things. The more you're here, your spiritual senses start becoming acute. If you never use them, they dull up. And then, like we were talking last night about compassion, your eyes can get dull. You don't want dull eyes or dull ears. But when you use them, they become acute. So you could hear something. You could see something. You could smell something. You could sense something, the presence of something. Often I have, like, something is there. Someone is there. So it could be from the list of Hebrews 12, there's a number of different kind of created beings. It could be fascinating. But the more that you interact there, it's not weird, it's just wonderful and real. And just because people can't see with their eyes doesn't make it any less real. But what happens here, come to the middle, as you start discerning more, the purposes that was, is, and is to come, things that have happened, things that are, and he refers back sometimes because it helps the case for the overarching or the purposes that are being dealt with now, the teeth, the details. Whatever you need to know, he'll show. And if you don't need to know, you don't get fettered with it. Sometimes you just run into it because it's him. I like to keep those things. They're so sweet. But I had the sense one time, recently, we were praying about something. He said, he reminded me, he said, you don't come in here, not this prayer room, with your agenda or what nation you think you should pray for. You come in to find out what he wants, because he knows what needs to happen next in his supernatural recipe, what needs to add next. So I have had him, this one day I had him do literally turned my head to see what he wanted me to see.
Isn't that amazing? He will show us what he wants us to see, so we can come boldly. But to come boldly, we leave at the gate our own agenda. We engage with him in prayer to deal with the churnings of our heart. And we come into his throne room with our own agenda left at the gate. The gate is Jesus. He takes all our burdens, all our things that are troubling in our mind, all of the turmoil of our soul. He takes it and prepares us so that we can come boldly into the throne room to find grace to help in the time of need and to help us engage in the plans and the purposes of God.